Hey babes, let's test out some new products that I may be or may not be interested in launching with Mirroredsublimity, especially our mascara, which I have actually used before, and she actually launches today. I'm so excited, but let's get into the look. We're starting with our brows using the Thread Beauty concealer. Just want to say shout out to Thread Beauty, but this video is not about them. Okay, so let's go ahead and go in with our base. I do want to say I do not like the complexion stick too much. It shows my pores. It doesn't blend very well. But let's go into this setting mist. Let me just say I got this setting mist from my vendor. I've actually used it a while, like a lot now since I've done this video because it is pre-recorded. But I just went ahead and I used it to try to blend it in. I will say the spray is good with blending, but you see why I don't like the complexion stick, because it clearly just likes to stay put, which I don't necessarily like too much. I need her to be able to spread. But the spray did what she needed to do when it came to blending out the foundation, which is what I really love. Now that the foundation is all blended in, I'm going to go in with the Thread Beauty concealer and conceal my eyebrows. Lately, I've been doing my eyebrows like it's 2016, and I've been putting the concealer on top of my brow instead of foundation. But it's actually been coming together with the spray. As you can see, it blended very well with my Real Technique brush as well. Now we're going to put the spray to test with blending in our under eye. As you know, you may see in my tutorials, I always spray my brush or I spray my face before blending out my concealer in my T-zone. So one thing that I did notice is that I have to let the spray dry down a little bit, or just spray my face and let it dry down a little bit before blending it in, because as you can see, it was just so much spray on that brush. And yes, it did spread out the product a little bit, but I felt like it thinned it out too, which is not bad if you are using a thick product. But necessarily, I do love this spray for blending. Now when it goes to long wear, trying to wear it all day long, I don't necessarily like the spray too much because I have oily skin, and this is more so for a dewy look, and it does transfer, so it's not a transferable spray, but it does work better for a little bit of long term if you like a dewy look. Now this is the setting powder. It's supposed to be banana color. Baby, I did not like the color at all, but I do want to say this stuff makes my face matte, so it pairs well with the spray when it comes to trying to get your face to look more matte. But again, long wear, it's okay. I haven't really learned how to achieve how to not have my lines under my eyes not peek through and the makeup remove. I've always had that problem no matter what products I use. So if you do have any tips on that, please let me know. Maybe I gotta start adding an extra primer under my eye. But I do like this powder when it comes to trying to make my face matte, and it does pair well with the spray. It does what the spray cannot do, but again, with being transferable, trying to be able to have makeup that does not like get on any other surfaces, this is not the product for that. This is more so I'm going to wear my makeup all day long, so we're going to have a very long wear and matte routine. And as you can see, I put it all over my face because it's not like banana color shade, it's more so my skin color shade, so it's closer to that. So I was actually able to press it into my skin. And as everyone may know, when using a concealer up under my eyes, I like bright under eyes. So this powder would not be good for my full glam looks or my bright under eye looks. I would rather use a translucent powder. But this is the packaging. The package is so cute and it's on brand. Next, we are going to do our contour, which something that I should have paid attention to is that I'm using creams and powders. I like my face to be matte. Creams are not the product for me, but we're going to use it anyway. So even though it's a different formula, the contour complexion stick from Thread Beauty actually did blend pretty well, but I feel like the formula just kind of messed it up when it came to me wanting to have my long wear and my matte type of look. But the makeup still pretty much came out really pretty, and it still blended out well. When blending, I had to switch over to the same brush I used for my foundation instead of using my Real Technique brush because I felt like it wasn't blending it well enough. The Real Technique brush was just too small. So the brush that I used for foundation actually covered more areas and it blended it better. The next product that we are trying out is actually one of my favorites, which is this color changing pH lip oil. Let me just say, I do love me a good lip oil. Thread Beauty had put me on. So I was like, okay, we're going to try to see what we can do with Mirroredsublimity because my lips are always cracked and dry, especially in the winter and the fall seasons. But let me just very much say, I do love this lip oil. She keeps my lips moisturized, very pretty. This is what the color looks like after sitting for maybe a good 3 to 4 minutes, but it's really, really pretty. I love it. So I decided to go in with the setting spray on the rest of my face because, as I stated before, the cream products just made it a little bit too shiny. And as you can see, that powder made me a little bit too bright, which I didn't necessarily like. So I did go back in with the complexion stick and put more on to pretty much bronze and try to bring warmth back into my face because I felt like I looked like a ghost. So now we're going to go in with our Solid Collection Cosmetics blush and our next new favorite product, which I love a lot, which is the eyeliner. Y'all, I had to get this one because I really like the way that this pencil actually looked. Like, it gave luxury, it gave simplicity, sublime. And let me just say, this product, baby, the pigmentation, y'all see how much of the black liner actually appeared on my eye. I was very much so impressed with this eyeliner, and I really just felt like this is something that we needed in store for sure. Like, this is most definitely going to be on the list. Okay, I did have a little hard time doing my winged liner because your girl is not an expert when it comes to doing winged liner, but I do say that this pencil did do what she needed to do when it came to applying it appropriately and the right amount of pigment, and I had a little bit more control than using the liquid one, so it actually gave. So I went ahead and blended in the blush. Let me just say, I don't know why I was using cream products and powder products together, but I don't necessarily like them together at all. But that liner did what she needed to do. So as y'all see, I'm putting more concealer on top of my eyelid because I really didn't have any there. I don't know why I didn't do this before the liner, but I went ahead and blended it in, and it actually came out good. I also put powder on top of my eyelid too to make it matte, so that way it wasn't like creamy. The next product is my main fave, which is our Velour Lift Mascara, which is actually launching today, as I stated before in the video, okay? As y'all can see, I didn't really give y'all too much of a real-time video, just on one eye, but this is how it looks when I try, lifting my lashes with mascara. I do want to say I did not use a lash curler, and my lashes are very short and they are straight. So I'm going to show you what my mascara can do for you if you have straight short lashes like me, okay? Period. So what I do to get the most product up out of this mascara is I use the tip of it to apply some of the product on the lashes, and then I use the actual spoolie to lift the lashes up, okay, to give it that curl, that nice curl. One thing I do not like is when mascara touches your eyelid and it matches the lid of your makeup. I hate that so much, but your girl is actually learning to do better when it comes to that. Now, I do brush my lashes up like multiple times to try to form it and make it actually curve and give it that lift. This is the best way that it'll actually lift. Now, do you see the difference already? Now we're gonna put it at our bottom lashes. This is one thing, my bottom lashes are longer than my top lashes, so the difference between the two is going to be uncanny, okay? The dimension, the volume, everything just actually gave. As y'all can see, this is the before and the after. Y'all see it gave it more life, more volume, more density for sure. And the pigmentation in the mascara most definitely made it seem like I had on at least like, you know, a little lashes, but it's really pretty. I loved it. So I went ahead and I added that powder up under my eye, which I should have did it before my mascara. And now we're going in with our Mirroredsublimity lip combo. This isn't a new product, but I did want to try it with the lip oil on top because I noticed that when I use my Thread Beauty lip oil first and then I let it dry down, or, you know, just kind of do its work to moisturize my lips, and then I go in with my lip combo, it does make my lip combination a little bit brighter, pinker, and then my lips just feel so much better, and it's like a slight difference. It feels like more moisturized when I do my lip combo, but it's not as pigmented because, baby, this lip oil is just so oily. Trying to put it on top, like my lip pencil on top, it was a little bit hard, but as you can see, she did what she needed to do still. It was really, really cute. I did have to dry like a little bit of the product off though before doing it. And then I'm gonna go in with my sultry lip pencil. Lately I've been doing like a lot of like pinkish, reddish type lip combos, and I've been very much so obsessed. Like, your girl's actually been trying to get very creative with the different combinations that I've been doing, and they've been coming out really pretty. So with this combination, I call her cherry. Like, she most definitely gives like a cute pinkish cherry. So now I'm going in with the rose gloss. This is pretty much going to tie it all in together to make it a little bit more pink than red, which is what I really, really loved. I do love how my glosses are a biddable gloss. You can make it as pigmented as you want to or as sheer as you like. As you can see, just a few applications and the rose gloss looks really pretty, but I'm going to go ahead and put Skin Tight in the center just to give us that little bright nude. It's kind of like a halo effect a little bit, but I love it. The lip has come together, honey. I very much so love it, okay? Period, boo. Now we're going to go ahead and add the crystal gloss on top just to give us that extra shine. You know it's all a process, period. So now I'm going with the spray, the setting mist again. And with all the matte products and everything, I felt like with it drying down, it actually made it look more so something that I like, because mixing the cream products with the powder and then the spray, I didn't necessarily like it too much. But I think if I use it for my natural routine, it'll come out so much better. But as you can see, the mascara nor the liner bled, which I very much so love. But this is the final look. Let me know which products were your fave. Bye, glam babes.